Today we're going to talk about laminates. Now, Riley Blake laminates are not the old laminates that your mother and your grandmother used to sew with. These laminates are soft, supple, and easy to sew with. But there's a few tips you need to know about before you get started on your project. My friend Jina Barney made me this travel bag out of laminate fabric, and she's here today to talk about how to sew with laminates and also how to make this adorable travel bag. Hi Jina.
How are you?
Good. I love my travel bag. And you use laminates, and tell me, are laminates really easy to sew with?
They are. Let me share a few things that I found work really well. First off, the Riley Blake laminate is very forgiving. You can put pins in it. I also
it doesn't make a mark.
It doesn't make a mark. It also is forgiving. It still stretches on the bias. So when later on we share about how to put in a zipper, you can stretch that a little. So it's very forgiving. The other thing I love about it is you can iron. So take a cloth, even on this side, with a low temperature iron and iron. Otherwise you can flip it over to the cloth side, and low temperature iron and iron.
Okay.
The other thing I love is no hemming. You can have raw edges. They're not going to...
Because the laminate prevents fraying.
No fraying.
Love that.
Okay. The other thing that we're going to talk about is a walking foot. Now, not everyone has a walking foot.
And my machine does not have a walking foot.
Walking foot's great, and that's what works well on laminates. But when you're on the shiny side, you can take a piece of this painter's tape.
Okay.
Put it to the bottom of
your foot. Okay.
Like so that you can slide along your slippery side. It'll help your foot to move easier.
To move, okay, and not gather in bunch. Okay, great tips, thank you.
Okay.
Well, teach me how to make this cute bag.
Okay, so we're going to take out 12 by 16 piece of laminate, and we're going to learn how to put a zipper in.
Now that's what I think intimidates some people about making bags is zippers.
It is, but what you want to do, I love working with a zipper that is longer. So this is 12 inches, my zipper's 14, which allows me to take all of the hardware out of the way of my sewing.
Could you use a longer zipper than this?
Yeah, any size. Any size,
as long as it's bigger than the project. Okay.
I just found it's easier that way.
All right.
So right side down towards the raw edge of your laminate.
Okay, so you just laid it on top, all right.
And you'll be fine sewing with this one because it will slide right along your zipper.
And you just use your zipper foot along there.
I do.
Okay.
Then you can turn it. And remember, we talked about pinning. We can pin this, pin that edge close, like so. And then you're going to top stitch. Right along.
And you just take your pins right as you're going along out.
Right.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take this other side of the zipper. I'm going to take it to this other edge, and I'm going to do exactly the same. I'll run my stitch down the side here, and then I'm going to turn. So when I get to this point, I'm here, and I want to make sure that I unzip the zipper.
And then you're going to top stitch
all the way, so I have all my hardware out of the way, and I can top stitch the other side. So I've got the zipper in now.
That just makes zippers seem so easy.
I know it. It's so great. The next step is making a little handle, like so. On here.
Mine doesn't have a handle, but you can easily put a handle in.
And that's optional, but I kind of like it.
I do too.
Okay.
I do too.
So you're going to take a piece that is a 4 by 7, and you're going to fold that in half. Then you're going to take each raw edge to that halfway point, like so. And again, what's so great is you can pin that. So pin along your edge. And then you can top stitch right along this edge. I also like to top stitch along this edge.
Make it uniform.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And I noticed you have the handle on this side, but could you put it on the other side too if you preferred?
Yeah. You can
so
make
either
two.
way.
Yep.
Oh, maybe two would work.
Each side or just one side, whatever you prefer. Then you'll zip it maybe about halfway. Find your halfway point, put a pin. Find the halfway point on this edge, and then we're going to, I like to put it at the base not where the zipper heads up this end.
Okay.
I like to take and fold this in half, place this right where my pin is, and then place the zipper right on top, and then pin all those layers together. You can pin all the way along, and then you'll stitch.
Now, do you stitch over your teeth when you...
Be very careful when you get here.
Okay.
I also like to go back and forth a few times.
Okay.
And if you need to, you can just hand do that, so you don't
just
break
kind
your
of
needle.
shore up the... Okay.
Yeah. And again.
But if you had a bigger teeth like this, you would probably skip over it.
Yeah, you'd have to be very careful. I love the big teeth, but again, you have to be careful.
Stitch over that. Okay.
Not going to break that. Same thing on this end. You're just going to stitch. Be very careful right here. Double across, and then stitch and finish.
Okay.
So you got both ends finished. You're going to turn and do your corners now.
Yeah, I noticed you've got these box corners. So you're going to show us how to make those?
Yes, we're going to do the box corners. So we'll get inside here, and we'll actually take that seam that comes from the seam we just sewed where the zipper is, and we'll place that in sort of a triangle. The seam goes right down the center here. I like to pin it in place, and then I like to measure 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Make a little mark, and then from that point, and make a little mark again. Then I like to take my ruler. I've got 2 marks right here, and I like to take a pen and draw.
And just
That's
connect
going to be
it.
my stitching line.
Okay.
Once I do
Looks
that,
like you've stitched that on
I'm
that
going to
side.
stitch right across.
Okay.
Trim, leaving a 1/4 inch, and that will give me all my corners. Now, I've only done 1.5. If you want that to be taller,
Like a
this is only
taller.
1.5.
Okay.
Then you could probably go up to about 3. You can go as close to your zipper as you like, which makes it taller,
And a
but
little-
takes up a little bit narrower. So you
okay.
can create whatever size you like. You'll take it, you'll turn it right side out, and there you go.
And I loved what you did with the zipper pull. You just took a piece of ribbon and you just ran it through the pull.
That's right.
And that's just another way to embellish. Well, thank you so much. I love it. And this is an easy project that anyone can make, and an easy way to use laminates and zippers.